Look at this. Look at this. See that? Physically grabbing her, applying pressure, pushing her. Look at Brittany Griner.
There is new video that demonstrates precisely how Caitlin Clark, the Golden Goose, magnet for ratings, the woman who prevented women's basketball from going extinct on her own, was hurt. Furthermore, what we're witnessing is not only disappointing, but downright repulsive. Bullying is a concern in the WNBA. Additionally, their biggest star recently became the most recent casualty of a league that seems incapable of safeguarding its own meal ticket.
Finally, a player that's worth paying the money for. Caitlin Clark comes along. What do, WNBA? You beat her up. You treat her like crap. You treat her like she's dog doo-doo, dude. I never seen this in any sport, bro. Not even Jordan.
No one in the league office wants you to drink this tea. Caitlin Clark didn't just wake up with a strained quadriceps. She also didn't pull something or trip over her shoelaces while warming up casually. The referees watched it happen as if they were being paid to ignore it, and she was routinely singled out, fouled, grabbed, pushed, and beaten down by guys who were more interested in playing WWE than basketball.
Caitlin Clark has been moving in slow motion. As good as she's been moving in slow motion. And it is, it makes sense. It genuinely makes sense. All of this stuff. And you've got Scott Agnes, a reporter, saying that the injury has been bothering her since training camp. So she's been playing. So essentially, she was massaging the area and wearing a pad during the Iowa preseason game. They're saying lower leg injury for some reason. Minor quad strains need 2 to 4 weeks of rest, and they can nag you.
The Indiana Fever announced on May 26, 2025, that their top guard would be out for at least 2 weeks due to a left quadriceps strain, which would, at most, mean missing 4 games. However, anyone with half a brain understands that muscular injuries don't happen on convenient schedules. This could continue for up to 3 weeks each month.
People are noting that a grade 1 quad strain is 1 to 2 weeks, a grade 2 quad strain is 3 to 6 weeks, and grade 3s would need surgery. This is not like the end of the world of injuries at all. I think what is so dark about this is that Caitlin Clark will definitely be missing a lot of basketball in a short WNBA season. Obviously, the best thing to do is to rest her so that when she does come back, she is fully healed and the injury can't get worse. Though it is hard to measure when these types of injuries are better, I will say having a quadricep injury is much better than having like a calf injury or a hamstring injury. And I have to say that I did notice in the Liberty game, Caitlin Clark's shots were all very short. So it was showing that she wasn't like getting off and she was having a difficult time making those threes, and a lot of explosiveness from those 3-point shots does come from your legs. Her shot was just so obviously off, and for it to be short, it kind of makes a little sense.
Additionally, the new video presents a whole different picture from the Fever's attempt to minimize this as simply another injury. Clark can be seen on the smoking gun video during the Atlanta Dream game, which is the one where fans yelled, "You're in Atlanta," as if Assault had some sort of home field advantage. This video shows player after player contacting Clark in ways that would cause a linebacker to blush, including grabbing, shoving, applying pressure, and making physical contact that is entirely unrelated to basketball and more about intimidation. This was not basketball. Rather, it was the league's biggest star being deliberately targeted, and it was let to occur in broad daylight.
Look at this. Look at how physical they are. Now, granted, Caitlin Clark has been in the weight room this season, but I'm telling you right now, there's only so much your body can take, man. Look at how close Ryan Howard playing her. This is crazy. And this is just one video. I got another one I want to show you guys as well.
However, this is where things start to get truly intriguing. Clark has been using heating pads on her quad during games for weeks, probably since preseason 10, according to a number of sources, including gamegoers. Consider that for a moment. The woman, who had played in 185 straight games between Iowa and the WNBA since 2017, was actually suffering from an injury that needed heating pads to heal. Rather than shielding her or calling the clear fouls, the referees allowed her to be mauled night after night until her body finally told her enough.
The commissioner's the worst commissioner in sports. She is horrible. She wants rivalries, this WWE style. Like, nobody wants to see that, Kathy. You're a horrible commissioner. You know what? Have some dignity and just resign today. You ruined this thing. You ruined a great thing. This could be the first time you don't need the NBA assistants to go in the green. But you're going to go in the red this year because you're an idiot. You're stupid, and the fans don't like this shit. We want to see quality basketball. Nobody's asking for Keelan Clark to get a handout. We just want to see some fair refereeing, because these referees from Temu and Wayfair, they're garbage, bro. I seen better refereeing at a Pee Wee game, bro, at AAU. They suck. And then on top of that, the players, they're just not likable, man. They're not. That's the problem with the league. They're not likable. Keelan Clark's likable.
If you're having fun, please subscribe. The WNBA couldn't have come at a worse time, and to be honest, they deserve all of the financial hardship that is being inflicted upon them. Since statistics don't lie as WNBA officials seem to, let's talk about them. Caitlin Clark was featured in 21 of the 24 WNBA broadcasts in 2024 that attracted a minimum of 1 million viewers. Games without Clark averaged a pitiful 394,000 viewers, while 21 out of 24 games with her had an average of 1.19 million. That's not the only distinction. That's what separates a successful league from a failing afterthought. We are already witnessing the direct effects. The highly anticipated rematch between Clark and Angel Reese has seen a 42% drop in ticket prices, falling from $137 to $80 on average. After the injury announcement, it's more than just a price reduction. That demand crash is taking place right now. The WNBA is being told by the market what they won't accept. The attraction is Clark. People care about Clark because of him. Additionally, without Clark, curiosity wanes more quickly than Angel Reese's chances of making the playoffs.
Be here with you guys today. If there wasn't any worry going on in the WNBA executive offices, if there was no worry, oh, people aren't going to turn off, oh, people are still going to show up, if that was the thought that they were having up there in WNBA La La Land, well, now might be the time to hit the panic button. 48 hours after news hits that Caitlin Clark is injured and she'll be missing 2 weeks, the market has responded, and the market has told the WNBA, we don't want this. We want her, but we don't want this. What am I talking about? Indiana Fever ticket prices to games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement. An average ticket price of $137 all the way down to $80.
Smith was spot on when he stated that he's very curious to see how the ratings will change over the next 2 weeks without her, because, should they plummet, it will reveal how reliant this league is on a single player, the same player they failed to protect. Smith went on to say, if there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated. The highest-watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years was the most recent Clark vs. Rhee battle, which attracted 2.7 million people. At its height, 3.1 million people watched the game. For the WNBA, those are Super Bowl caliber figures. Figures that haven't been seen since the league's inception on NBC, and they're going to discover what happens if you remove the only player that people genuinely watch.
How big of a blow is this to the W?
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings. Because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated.
Let's discuss the actual offense here, though. The officiating. The contempt shown to our squad at this time has been just amazing, according to coach Stephanie White, who called it atrocious. She noted that we're attacking the rim rather than just throwing threes, pointing out a -31 free throw disparity in previous games. Translation: the referees are swallowing their whistles and Clark is getting thrashed every time she drives to the basket. The ideal example of this issue was the last play against the New York Liberty. On the last possession of the game, Natasha Cloud made direct contact with Clark. The referees simply watched Clark get robbed while the game was still in play, whereas contact would have been made for any other elite player in any other league. When Clark saw that there would be no call, she turned to the officials and began yelling. Even her teammates went to the referees to voice their disapproval, but there was no radio silence from the officials, who seemed to believe that basketball should be a contact sport. This goes beyond poor officiating. This officiating is selective. There is a pattern of letting Clark get battered while other players are shielded, and this practice has now resulted in an injury that will cost the league millions in lost revenue from attendance and credibility. The video from several games demonstrates Clark being physically dominated, grabbed, and pushed in ways that go well beyond typical basketball contact. The players are specifically targeting her, knowing they can get away with it because the referees have developed a pattern of not calling foul on Clark. Everyone seems to have been given permission to take advantage of the league's biggest star, and Clark's quad strain is the unavoidable outcome.
But if anything, this should be a lesson to the league and a lesson to the officiating, because the amount of contact that is allowed without a foul call and the amount of physicality that Caitlin Clark has to battle through being double teamed and triple teamed, and honestly it's mostly just not being called for these fouls, needs to be assessed. Caitlin Clark is the league's star player, whether you like it or not. It shows in the bottom line, it shows in the revenue, it shows in the viewership numbers. Every which way you turn, it shows. And as the league star player, she should not be bullied around or ragdolled, just pushed around like she is. There is an undeniable disparity in the officiating. I mean, think about the Kobe whistle in the NBA. No one touched him without an issue.
This is what aggravates me even more. For an unknown amount of time, Clark had been playing with this ailment. The heating pad footage demonstrates that she was still able to suit up and compete at an elite level while having quad difficulties. In her first 4 games of the 2025 season, she led the league in assists per game with 9.3 and averaged 19.0 points per game, all while playing on one strong leg. It's more than simply toughness. That's incredible commitment to a league that obviously doesn't value what it has. And let's not forget about what Clark offers this league in addition to her basketball prowess. She's produced a phenomenon that goes beyond athletics. 1.3 million people watched her preseason game versus Brazil at Iowa. Only 2 NBA games on ESPN have had the same number since 2010. Both have included LeBron James. A preseason matchup with Brazil. These are the kinds of figures that open corporate checkbooks, create new fans, and shift leagues. Because it included Clark, ESPN made the historic choice to broadcast a WNBA preseason game for the first time ever. This year, 41 of the Fever's 44 regular season games will be broadcast nationally. That isn't typical. That is the Caitlin Clark effect in action, and all of that momentum is now going to strike a brick block for at least the next 2 weeks, if not longer.
There is literally footage of Caitlin Clark putting heat compression towards her leg. There is literally footage of her putting heat packs on her leg. There is new footage of her heating up her quad when she's playing. And by the way, people have been at games. I've been getting, if you look like my comment section, I don't read my comment section that much, I'm going to be honest, but some of the times where I have read my comment section, people have genuinely been like, I'm at the game, Caitlin Clark does not look right on the sideline. Caitlin Clark is coming out, she has heat compression on her quad. She was playing injured.
Beyond only television ratings, Clark's absence has a significant economic impact. Following Clark's drafting, Visit Indy reported a 501% increase in traffic to their Fever-specific website. There is a clear correlation between hotel reservations in Indianapolis and Fever home games. Because Clark attracts so much interest, a $75 million practice facility is being built. This is about more than just basketball. It's about a whole economic ecology that is centered on a single player, and that ecosystem is about to go through a drought that is completely avoidable. The WNBA only needed to safeguard their investment. When players grabbed, pushed, and targeted their biggest star, all they needed to do was tell their officials to call fouls. They should have treated Clark with the same decency as other well-known athletes, but instead they allowed her to be battered until her body failed. This injury is made much more terrible by the impending timetable. Everyone wanted to watch the rivalry that is pushing the ratings over the roof when the Fever were scheduled to play the Chicago Sky in the rematch. Rather, while the real draw heals from avoidable injuries, spectators witness Angel reattempting to promote her brand against role players.